We champion consumers in today's complex medical industry. Step one to smarter choices is listening to this radio forum. This is the Dr. Shoup Show. Now, here's your friendly Uncle Randy.
Well, there you have it. I'm here, you're here, this is great, and I'm going to divulge and share a great secret with you. I know what you are doing at night in your bed, either alone or with someone, with your eyes closed. You're grinding your teeth. I know it's a family show, guys. You got to clean this up. I mean, it's not like we have trail cameras, strapped onto the post of your bed or anything like that. It's not that we embed microchips into your fillings so that we can hear everything that goes on where you are, although those things are true. We do those things. But no. It is the high probability, we know statistically, about 60% of the population grinds the heck out of their teeth. And this is the thing that just really cracks me up every time. I'll have a patient come to the office, and they'll be either a new patient or somebody that we've seen over a period of time, and we're watching things, and I will say to them, after I've done my really comprehensive and thorough examination, one of the things that I'm concerned about with you in terms of your teeth being healthy for a lifetime is that I'm seeing a significant amount of wear on your teeth, and I'm absolutely sure that you grind your teeth. And with righteous indignation, they rear back in the chair, their eyes get wide, their mouth flies open, and they go, well, I don't grind my teeth. Like I told them that they were a Martian or something. I mean, it's so the most insulting thing I could have possibly have said to them. And I said, well, yeah, you do. And they go, well, no, I don't. And I said, well, okay, how do you know you don't? And they said, well, I never heard myself. I said, well, you're asleep. What are you going to do about nobody's ever told me I grind my teeth. Well, who stands there and stares at your face all night watching your jaw muscles twitch? Come on, folks. So here's the analogy I make, and here's why I know I can make this statement. Let's say that it is wintertime, and there is a brand new, fresh, beautiful blanket of snow all over the meadow, all over your yard, everywhere. And in that pristine, virgin layer of snow, you're standing there with your little jammies and your robe on, you're sipping your coffee, and you're staring out through the living room window, and you see deer tracks have punched holes in the snow going from one side of your property to the other's deer tracks. Now, if I were to ask you the probability of a deer actually physically walking by there, you'd tell me it was really, really good. But you didn't see the deer. You don't see the deer now. You can't be sure but you're sure there was a deer there. This is what I'm telling you. Your level of confidence that there was a deer at some point standing in your yard is the same level of confidence I have when I look in your mouth and I see all these worn down flat spots and all these telltale signs of tooth grinding, and I tell you, you're grinding your teeth. And you look at me and say, no. It's like you telling me there was a deer in my yard. And I'm going, no, there wasn't. Yes, there was. So we get into this argument. So let me tell you the signs, things you can look for that will help you get comfortable with the fact that you probably grind your teeth. Number one, your vampire teeth, the pointy ones on either side, okay? If they're not pointy anymore, but they're flattened off at the bottom edge, you're probably grinding your teeth. Sounds like that. Yeah, you ought to be, if you're a redneck, sounds like you're grinding your teeth. If you have on your upper front teeth little teeny tiny chips out of the bottom biting edge of it, you're most likely grinding your teeth. And what do? You take your thumbnail or your fingernail and you run it back and forth across the biting edge, the little sharp cutting edge of your upper two front teeth. If it's smooth as glass, you may not be grinding your teeth. But if it is bumpity, or there are chunks out of it, I would really bet you're grinding your teeth. You're listening to the Dr. Randy Shoup Show. I am your host, Dr. Randy Shoup. What is my name? I'm Dr. Randy Shoup. That's hard to say fast. But you're listening to the Dr. Randy Shoup Show. I am your host, Dr. Randy Shoup, and we're talking about tooth grinding and how pervasive it is, how we diagnose it, and things you can look for and see if you are grinding your teeth. If you have a back tooth or a filling that continually breaks, the dentist fix it, you go home, it breaks again, dentist fixes it, you go home, break again, you are either the dentist doesn't know what the heck they're doing, or you're probably grinding your teeth. You're overstressing that restoration. Have you ever cracked a tooth? I'm eating bread, I'm eating cereal, I'm doing nothing, and a big chunk of my tooth fell off. It takes a lot of force to knock off a chunk of tooth. Now, did your tooth break right then? No, you probably cracked it the night before while you were sleeping, and it was just the right temperature, the right circumstances that made the piece fall off in the morning, but you broke it the night before. You're probably grinding your teeth. If your lower front teeth are flat or chisel edged on the front surface, if you look at your bottom front teeth and they're significantly shorter and they're chisel edged, you're grinding your teeth. Absolutely, for sure. Now, how is it that I know so much about this? I am the card-carrying Grand Poobah Chief Officer of the Tooth Grinders Club. This kid right here, Uncle Randy, would not have a tooth left in his head if I didn't wear some bite protecting things. So I've got all of these signs that I'm telling you about. Is your nose closer to your chin than it ever used to be? And as you grind your teeth down, our jaws tend to shift forward. And so let's say, for example, you tattooed a tiny dot on the end of your nose and you tattooed a tiny dot on the point of your chin when you were 20 years old. And you measured that. Now you go 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, and you measure the distance between those two dots again. If that distance is smaller, you're grinding your teeth because they grind down. You remember the old number 2 pencil and a pencil sharpener at school? And as long as you kept pushing on the pencil and turning the handle, that pencil kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter. That's exactly what your teeth do. As you grind down the tops of them, they erupt up. They come up and you grind some more off, and they erupt up and you grind some more off. The top teeth, they drop down, you grind some more off, you drop down. And so your teeth literally get shorter and shorter, and those two dots get closer and closer together. Do you have headaches when you first wake up in the morning? Do you sit on the side of the bed? Do you take the heels of your hand and rub it on the side of your head like, oh man, I got a little pesky headache already? I do that every morning. By the time you hit the shower and the warm water hits your head, your headache starts to get better. You grind your teeth. And do you have those great big square Maria Shriver jaw muscles on the side of your face that when you get angry, people tell you that they twitch? Muscles are muscles, and when you clench and grind your teeth, these muscles are just like lifting weights. You may be the Arnold Schwarzenegger of grinding your teeth if you've got these great big masseter muscles. Okay, why do we grind our teeth? I'll tell you. You're listening to the Dr. Randy Shoup Show. I am your host, Dr. Randy Shoup, and we're talking about tooth grinding. And I know most of you don't believe you do, but I'm telling you, most of you do grind your teeth. Stress. Stress is the number one reason we think people grind their teeth, because we've hooked people up to all kinds of different gadgets, and what we find is this, and this is pretty interesting. When people are dead asleep at night and they are grinding the dickens out of their teeth, their body releases tons of endorphins. Endorphins are those things that make you feel good internally. We don't know why they do it. We don't know why it's connected with tooth grinding, whether it's a soothing thing or it's a habitual thing or whatever. People have habits. They like to feel the corner of their blanket or tug on their ear or do something. It makes them feel good. It soothes them. We think that probably tooth grinding may be some sort of a weird mechanism that it releases endorphins, makes you feel good. So what is the solution? What do we do? Number one, we get people in what are called bite guards, night guards that protect your teeth. I have two. I travel with one. I leave one at home. I never want to be without it. And trust me, after you wear these things for about 2 nights, it will become your best friend. I'm telling you, in the middle of the night when the tornado hits my house, I'm grabbing my splint first. The rest of the family can fend for themselves, but I'm picking the most important thing in my life, and that's my bite guard. And once you get one of these things, you're going to love it that much. What don't I want you to do? I do not want you to go to the sporting goods store and buy one of those boil up, your kid in junior high mouth guards, because they're soft and they're rubbery. And when you put something soft and rubbery in there, it elicits the chewing response. It makes it worse. Do not put a soft, rubbery mouth guard in there, because it'll actually make it worse. You have to have a hard splint. It can be for the top teeth or the bottom teeth. I don't care. I personally like the ones for the top. They seem to stay in better. They're away from my tongue. It's much more comfortable. So there you have it. You need to talk to your dentist about if you are a tooth grinder. And it's important because you will deteriorate and destroy a perfectly good set of teeth by simply grinding on them. Every time we restore somebody at the office, absolutely insist they get a bite protector, because I don't want them to destroy their new dental work when they've previously destroyed their own teeth. So we absolutely insist that people wear a bite guard after we do any restorative work, and I wear one anyway because I'd like to keep my teeth rather than watch them be ground down like a number 2 pencil.
You're listening to The Dr. Shoup Show. Exclusive insider info, audio, and video is online now at ddsradio.com.